Hey, Brian Boyle here, and welcome to episode 98 of the Mesh Tongue. It's Saturday, and I'm having a good day so far. The work week that was long as of yesterday is now officially over, and got some work done. Got up nice and early this morning, and got some other things taken care of. How about you? What's going on this weekend? Saw a lot of folks posting about their races. Congratulations if you had a great race. To those that had some miserable races, well, yeah, at least you survived for another day. So hopefully, you had a great day so far. Okay, it's always tomorrow. So, Brian at company, the number 5k.com. That's Brian with an I. If you have questions, comments, I'll be happy to get back to you. I've got some folks leaving comments on different things, Instagram, on YouTube, wherever it may be. By all means, that's great. If I happen to miss them, though, I do check my email probably more often than those comments and things. So, that's probably the best place to send them to is my email. And by all accounts, I will not miss it, and I'll get back to you. So today I want to talk to you about barefoot running in comparison to shoe running, and a lot of talk about this. Why would you go barefoot? Some people question it. Some people say, "Oh gosh, it's simple, it's easy." Barefoot running is not for the faint of heart. If nothing else, I don't know if you've ever tried it. I've run strides in the grass. I'm not a barefoot kind of person though. Just not me. I don't walk around the house barefoot all that often. My wife, on the other hand, barefoot all the time. Boys, barefoot all the time. I'm, for one, like having something underneath my feet. So shoes for me. But are the people that want to go minimalist, and let's say minimalist to the point of barefoot? We can talk about minimalist shoes another time, more likely. But barefoot running. So here's the thing. There's no real good research out there about barefoot running. Now, there's some studies, but there's not a whole lot of studies. Oddly enough, barefoot compared to shoe running, okay, there's a particular study that showed that more forces were put through the foot with shoe running versus the barefoot running. Now, is that because of shorter stride length with the barefoot running versus the shoe running? And that may be. We don't know exactly why that is. Interestingly enough, though, there was a higher increase in stress fractures in the metatarsal head. So the bony part right before the toes, where the toes come out, the metatarsal heads kind of hit right there. That part, there was a higher incidence of stress fractures in the metatarsal head, barefoot running. So, since we don't have any really good research as to say how would you do it, the next thing to say would be, okay, we're going to go off of an assumption, okay, some hypotheses that say, all right, if we try this, in theory, this should happen. So best guess, again, not an exact science. What you'd want to do is, if you're considering this, you would want to go from a shoe that has a lot of cushioning or whatever you're in currently and transition. So maybe go to a more minimal shoe. I don't know if you need to go right to the Vibram 5-finger kind of thing, if you can even find those things anymore. But some of the more, almost like your racing flats, if you will, that a little bit more minimalist. Some of the other there's some shoes out there, some of the ultras that are considering themselves, even though they're all the negative heel drop, more of a minimalist shoe. And then what you would do is you would go over a period of weeks to months, transition to barefoot. Now, one of the best guidelines that we have, okay, is walking around barefoot. Easy enough. So if you're going to get the mail, if you're walking around, if you're doing something outside, go barefoot. All right, start to toughen up the skin, get some callus underneath there, and then start going, quarter mile running, half mile, go to a mile. All right, again, with some common sense. Even though we don't have some great guidelines, this makes more of an easy transition. And then what you would do is very similar to other things, is you would transition no more than about 10% per week, increasing your running distance. And figure, over a period of months, not days. Make sense? Okay, so what we don't know is how you're going to react. There are some people that I call them, biomechanically sound. They're the thing that doesn't matter what they do. They're going to be out there running. They could run barefoot, they could run with shoes, they could run whatever, and they're just marvels. Nothing's going to happen. If you're not one of them, I would strongly urge you to consider, why you want to go barefoot. Why? Why do you want to go barefoot? It increases the joint stiffness, which again isn't a bad thing. Decreases the impact forces. Again, we think more because it's going to increase your stride length, shortening your stride, and so it's increasing your stride cadence rather. So it shortens your stride, increases your cadence because every time your foot lands, okay, you're going to go faster. Probably because you don't want to step on something. Okay, so if you see people walking over hot coals and they're kind of ooh, all right, your feet are going to move faster. So less impact forces, even though the stiffness is going to be higher because there's no shock absorption. But I would, encourage you to take your time, try walking barefoot. If you can't walk barefoot, then running is probably not going to be an ideal. So I don't encourage you to go right to it. Let's say start off with regular shoes, go to more minimalist shoe, transition in. If you feel like you're good, then great. If you're not, or if you're having issues, all right, if your arches start to hurt, if you're having issues in the front of the foot, I would encourage you to go back to your shoes. All right, and again, you can always try later, but at least take a pause and see where you're at. So hopefully find some value in this. This is episode 98 of the Mesh Tongue, talking about barefoot running and how you would transition into that. Hey, check out runpainless.com. My name's Brian, Brian. Send any questions to Brian at company5k.com. I'll be happy to get back with you. And as I always say, if you see some value in this, share this with your friends, your family, your training partners. But whatever you do, don't go hurting yourself to come back. I'll see you again tomorrow, Sunday, for episode 99. And boy, episode 100 is just like right there. This is crazy. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. All right.